Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ms. Suba and today we have a class on the topic digestive system. And this topic you people are very well aware of it. We have covered it in class 7A, but there are some students who are in 7O, so they haven't done this. I hope so, but that's not a big deal. Then, moving ahead, what is digestion? First, we need to know. The conversion of a complex food substances into simpler substances is called digestion. As you all are aware that protein, carbohydrate, fats, these are the complex food substances. They cannot be absorbed by your body, they cannot be used by your body until or unless you convert them into, your body converts them into the simpler form. Digestive system is a specific system that consists of the following parts. As you can see over here, your mouth is involved in it, your esophagus, the liver, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and the rectum. All these are the parts of the digestive system. These are the part of digestive system. Okay. What are the 5 main functions of the digestive system? The first function is of ingestion. As you can see over here, it is written that ingestion means you are intaking the food through your mouth. It's very clear. Digestion, when the food is broken down into simpler form, this will be explained to you ahead. Absorption, when the food is converted into the simpler form, it is absorbed by your body, it enters in your blood. Then there is a step that is missing over here, that step is assimilation. These 5 functions are also given in the book. You can see the assimilation. Assimilation means the simpler form which are converted in the which are like converted from, which are formed due to the action of the enzymes. They go into your blood, the simpler forms. Then from the blood they go to the tissues and they turn back into the complex form. Like आपने protein लिया, protein gets converted into amino acid. That amino acid moves in your blood, then from your blood that amino acid moves in your tissues, and after getting into the tissues, that these amino acids are converted back into the protein. This is assimilation, like utilization of the micromolecule is assimilation. The 5th part is excretion. Excretion means the extra or useless part of the food that cannot be consumed by your body or that is useless for your body, it is excreted out. Okay. You can see the structure of digestive system. You have mouth, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small intestine, large intestine and all. Right? After that, you have mouth. Okay. You know about the word of digestion, which means to convert the complex food into the simpler form. Mouth plays mouth has 2 types of digestion. One is mechanical digestion and the other one is chemical digestion. What is mechanical digestion? Mechanical digestion means in which the movement is involved, a movement that causes the breakdown of the food. Like when you ingest something in your mouth, or you take something in your mouth, you start chewing it, your teeth grinds that food and converts it into the smaller pieces. This is called mechanical digestion. But what is the chemical digestion? You all are aware that you have a certain pH of your mouth, and your mouth has saliva in it. It is a slimy substance. This saliva has an enzyme in it that is called salivary amylase. The function of the salivary amylase is to break down the carbohydrates into the simpler form. Like if you have taken starch is a complex form. The amylase breaks down the starch into the glucose. So this breakdown of the starch into glucose is done by that your salivary amylase. Okay, what is the pH of your mouth? Your pH of the mouth is neutral. That's why the amylase work on that pH. I'm not going into the enzymes. Okay, because we have already covered it in the chapter enzymes. Okay. Here you can see how the amylase, this is the molecule of a starch, you can see this starch molecule. Basically, the amylase is acting on the bond of the starch and it is converting the starch into the sugar molecules. You can see over here, right? Okay, moving ahead. Then you have student, your carbohydrates are just acted upon by the amylase. Now protein is not digested in your mouth, fat is still over there, so where are they going to be digested? Now your mouth sends this food to the stomach, but what sends this food to your stomach? You can see over here. You can see over here the mouth, the tube, there is a tube that is going from your mouth to the stomach, right? That tube is called esophagus. Esophagus is nothing but a muscular tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. It means it has no function, but it performs the function of the connection. If you have this in your book as well. After that, you can see that there is a word peristalsis written over here. What is this? And a question arises over here as well, that whether digestion takes place in the esophagus or not. So the answer is no. The digestion does not occur in the esophagus. Why? Because the function of the esophagus is just to provide the connection between the stomach and the mouth, and it performs a kind of special movement. That movement is called peristalsis. In the other picture, you can see the image of the peristalsis. Here you can see the bolus. The food that you eat, it turns into a circular structure that is considered as bolus. You can see this green part. It is initially it was here. Later on, it is moved little down. This shows that the tube has pushed the food into the tube is pushing the food towards the stomach. But how is it doing it? Automatically, there is a response in our body. That muscular movement is the peristaltic movement. Basically, due to this peristaltic movement, the food moves down into the stomach, and this peristaltic movement is all over your alimentary canal. You will notice this peristaltic movement in small intestine as well as the large intestine, because without it the food will not move. Okay, ahead. Here now the food has come to the stomach. The stomach has three functions to perform. Here you can see food storage, formation of chyme, and initiation of protein digestion. Your stomach performs the function of food storage, like whatever you eat, it goes in your stomach. Okay, the first function is done. The second function, formation of chyme. What is chyme? It is a partial liquid like substance like जो आपने खाया होता है, थोड़ा सा semi liquid हो जाता है वो, like when you vomit, what comes out? Some amount of water and some amount of solid structures of the food, like solid part of the food. That's called semi-solid. That is not complete, neither complete solid nor complete liquid. This is called semi-solid. So formation of chyme, how does it occur? When the food goes in your stomach, as you can see over here, these are the walls of the stomach. These walls start secreting acid in your stomach, HCl. It is that much strong. If I place this stomach acid onto a plastic chair, it will easily melt the chair or dissolve the chair or dissolve the plastic of it. Why? It's very strong. The question over here is why it's not acting on the walls of the stomach. वो तो प्रोटीन लाइक आपकी जो स्टमक की वॉल्स हैं वो तो बहुत सॉफ्ट हैं और वो मीट की बनी है. इसका जो प्लास्टिक को डिसॉल्व कर सकता है, ऐसे वो आपके स्टमक की वॉल्स को डिस्ट्रॉय नहीं कर रहा है कैसे? दैट्स द बिग क्वेश्चन. The answer lies over here. The walls of the stomach, they are lined with a layer of mucus that prevents the damage of the wall from the acid. Now, what is the purpose of acid in the stomach? There are two main purposes. First thing is that If you have any kind of bacteria in your food, that acid is going to kill that bacteria or prevent you from the food poisoning. आपको food poisoning से बचाता है, bacteria kill करने में काम आता है. The second function is you have a special enzyme in your stomach, but that enzyme is inactive, and the name of the enzyme is pepsinogen. Pepsinogen, pepsinogen. This pepsinogen works in acidic pH. You people are aware what is the role or importance of pH towards the activity of enzyme. So the pepsinogen enzyme converts into the pepsin, that is the active form of the enzyme due to this HCl. So once this pepsinogen converts into pepsin, this pepsin starts acting on the protein and convert them into the chains of polypeptide. It means the digestion of carbohydrate occurred in your mouth, and the digestion of protein has occurred in your stomach, right? Now the two digestions are completed over here, but still we have fats, right? We have fats. What will happen to the fat? Now let's have a look on the fate of the fats. Here you can see now the food that the size of the bolus over here is different. Over here the size of the bolus is different. In your stomach it is turned into very smaller pieces, and now your stomach starts sending the food to the small intestine. What is a small intestine? Let's see. Okay, just after your stomach, the other part is the small intestine. Small intestine is comprised of three parts. So first one is duodenum. You can see over here, just after stomach, the part that is started is duodenum. It is a very important part. Okay, final digestion or complete digestion takes place in the small intestine. After that, no digestion occurs. Small intestine has three parts, as I told you: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. You will see it ahead. Okay, let's talk about what is happening in the duodenum. Okay, in the duodenum is the site where you have, it's important part of the small intestine, where you have a list of enzymes. They are present over there, and they have different function. Like suppose you have trypsin. You can see in duodenum that trypsin acts on protein and convert that protein into the peptides or peptones and amino acid. I have a question over here. When pepsinogen has performed its function in the stomach, then why there is a need of trypsin in the duodenum? And the second question is, why trypsinogen or trypsin is working at pH 6? Because I have seen that pepsinogen has worked at pH 2. The answer for the first question is, might be possible there were certain proteins left undigested when they come to the duodenum. So for assurance of complete digestion, अल्लाह मियाँ ने एक निज़ाम रखा है कि एश्योर कर रहा है कि कहीं से भी कोई रह ना जाए, कोई चीज़ बच ना जाए. अगर कोई प्रोटीन ऊपर डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो पाई होगी तो वो नीचे आएगी जब duodenum में. तो duodenum में we have trypsin which is going to act on it and convert it into polypeptides or the peptides or peptones or the amino acid. या फिर जो ऊपर प्रोटीन से पॉलीपेप्टाइड बनी थी, वो पॉलीपेप्टाइड को फर्दर अमाइनो एसिड में तो टूटना है ना, फर्दर ब्रेकडाउन तो होना है ना, तो उसकी फर्दर ब्रेकडाउन के लिए भी ट्रिप्सिन वहाँ पे मौजूद है. सेकेंडली, ट्रिप्सिन की नेचर है कि वो 6 pH पे काम करे, वरना वो काम नहीं करेगा. सो दैट इज़ द रीज़न कि पेप्सिनोजन की नेचर अलग है और ट्रिप्सिन की नेचर अलग है. नाउ another question. We have certain enzymes. You can see over here. आपके पास एक लिस्ट तो आ रही है आप लोगों को नजर एंजाइम की, लेकिन आपके यहाँ पे शो नहीं किया गया. duodenum में कुछ एंजाइम्स और भी होते हैं, जैसे कि माल्टेज, वो एंजाइम होता है. You are aware कि मैंने पहले शुरू में बात कर रही थी कि in your mouth you have an enzyme salivary amylase that converts starch into glucose, but might be possible some of the starch is left. So in order to convert that starch into glucose, we have some amount of amylase in the duodenum as well, and we have some amount of maltase in duodenum as well. What amylase will do? The amylase that is in duodenum, it will break down the remaining or the leftover starch into the glucose, or if your food has any maltose, your maltase enzyme that is present in the duodenum, it will convert it into the glucose as well. So this is the part in which the digestion has occurred. Okay, what happens to the fat? Your fat, if you have seen the diagram, let me show you the diagram. Okay, this was the diagram. Okay, if you can see over here, the liver is not drawn over here. Let me draw it for you. Okay, a tube is coming from the liver, and that tube is bringing something into the duodenum. A tube is connected as well, same with the, यहाँ पे भी you can see, this is gallbladder. It is also connected, and it is also bringing something. Okay. In your duodenum, what happens to the fat? The enzyme lipase. Basically, your duodenum has an enzyme that is named as lipase. This enzyme is present in your duodenum as well. This enzyme, what it does, it converts the fat into fatty acid and glycerol. The work of this enzyme is to convert the fat into fatty acid and glycerol. But why the liver and gallbladder are what they are bringing to the small intestine or to the duodenum? You cannot break down fat directly by lipase. A first thing that is done in the duodenum is the emulsification. What is emulsification? The conversion of large fat molecules into smaller molecules so they can easily be acted upon by the lipase. This process is called emulsification. The large molecules of fat into the smaller molecules so they can easily be converted or acted upon by the lipase is this process called emulsification. Emulsification is done by the bile salts. The bile salts, they are coming from the gallbladder and the liver. They are sending the bile salts to the duodenum. I have a question. That the salt has a basic nature. What this basic nature is indicating? It means they are making the environment of duodenum basic. Duodenum का environment basic था, stomach का environment acidic था, mouth का environment neutral था. क्या होता अगर basic environment provide ना किया जाता? अगर stomach का acidic content ही duodenum में आ जाता, क्या हो जाता? A damage to the duodenum, because duodenum does not have any mucus layer. So that is why, in order to prevent any damage, Allah Ta'ala has made a system in which it is sending bile salts to the duodenum, where what will happen? The pH of the content changes towards the basic, so all the functions are performed smoothly. After that, your duodenum, it turns into let me give some time. Okay, then after duodenum, you have a duodenum. You have seen let me show you the whole digestive system. Okay, if I can show you, this is the duodenum. This portion, this is duodenum. This portion is jejunum, and this portion that is connected to the large intestine, the orange portion that is connected to the green portion, this portion is called your ileum. Jejunum is nothing, but it is a part where it is transported the whole like your food is transported towards the ileum or moved towards the ileum. The main place is the ileum. It is a site. Now the digestion has done duodenum. अब मज़ीद digestion नहीं होगी. It is the site. Ileum is the site where digestion stops and absorptions start occurring. What happens? Nutrients are absorbed through the wall of the small intestine directly into the capillaries. आपके duodenum में आपके ileum में, in your ileum you have, अगर ileum को cross section किया जाए और मज़ीद खोल के देखा जाए तो कुछ हमें, let's suppose this is ileum. In the ileum you have finger-like projections. These finger-like projections are called villi. You can see our structure of villi over here, right? And you can see there are blood capillaries in the villi, they are lacteal in the villi. What happens? The nutrients are absorbed through the wall of the ileum directly into the blood by the process of diffusion. जो भी अमाइनो एसिड होता है, जो भी ग्लूकोज होता है, वो कहाँ चला जाता है? आपके ब्लड में चला जाता है. बट व्हाट हैपन्स टू द फैटी एसिड? द फैटी एसिड डज नॉट गो टू द blood capillary, but it moves to the lacteal. It is moved to the lacteal. Sorry. Okay. The most active region for both digestion and absorption is the small intestine. इसीलिए कह रहे हैं ये बात कि small intestine वो जगह है जहाँ पे digestion भी हो रही है और absorption भी हो रही है. वो barrier, the barrier through which materials must pass during absorption from the gut is formed by a single layer of epithelial cell on the surface of the villi, the finger-like projection. As I have said, अच्छा, you can see they have enlarged the image of the villi. ये villi के भी cells होते हैं. ये जो villi की पूरी layer है, ये epithelial cell की layer है. अब एक सेल को इन लोगों ने इलाज करके दिखाया. अब ये क्या कह रहे हैं कि इसके पास विलाई के जो सेल है, उस सेल के पास क्या है? The area of the apical luminal surface of each epithelial cell is greatly increased by the presence of brush border. If you can see, you have a brush-like structure over here. You can see this brush-like structure. ठीक है? This increases the surface area for the absorption. Below the villi there is a network of the blood capillaries and all. This is the place where the food is absorbed. ठीक है? तो villi की अगर आपसे पूछा जाए कि food is absorbed, why the food is absorbed in the villi? Because it has the largest surface area. The finger-like projection, अल्लाह मियाँ ने इसीलिए finger-like projection ज़्यादा बनाई है ताकि उसका surface area ज़्यादा हो. फिर after this you have this portion. What is happening? How glucose is moved into the capillaries? Let me show you. The glucose, it is moved first, goes into the cell, epithelial cell of villi. पहले cell में enter होगा. Then after that the glucose enters into the capillary by facilitated diffusion. You are aware of this terminology. Amino acid, they enter into the villi cell and they enter in the blood by diffusion, right? Okay. Then you have very small chains of fatty acid. They enter directly into the villi and they enter in your blood by your by capillary. There आपके ज़हन में क्वेश्चन आ रहा होगा. You must be thinking, मिस ने तो बोला था भी फैटी एसिड कि मिस वो तो लैक्टियल में जाता है. I have said small chains of fatty acid. यहाँ पे मैंने वर्ड यूज़ किया. Small chains of fatty acid जो होती हैं वो आपके बहुत जो स्मॉल होती हैं वो डायरेक्ट ब्लड में एंटर हो सकती हैं. बट जो लार्जर चेन्स होती हैं, they have to enter in the lacteal. Now the digestion is done, the absorption is done, moving towards the large intestine. What is happening over here? In your large intestine, once absorption takes place, the water, the remaining substances that are left, they enter into the large intestine. वो आपके large intestine में enter होते हैं. लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में एंटर होके यहाँ पे आपकी जो कनेक्शन आपने देखा था कि देयर वाज अ कनेक्शन बिटवीन द इलियम एंड द लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन. द फूड एंटर थ्रू दिस कनेक्शन इनटू द लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन. लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन में एंटर हो गया आपका फूड. अब ये क्या करेगा? दैट फूड विल मूव थ्रू दिस लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन एंड दिस विल कम इनटू द रेक्टम. व्हेन द फूड विल बी मूविंग, जब फूड मूव कर रहा होगा, द वाटर विल बी रीअब्सॉर्ब बाय द लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन एंड इट विल स्टोर्ड इन द रेक्टम. रेक्टम में स्टोर रहेगा until or unless your brain sends a signal and once the signal comes, the body ejects the remaining useless part of the food out of the body. This is the whole process of digestion. I hope so I've cleared you much, because a lecture is not enough for it. I know multiple lectures are required for this topic, but I'm always here. You can ask any question, but I would suggest after listening to this, you are supposed to read your book, because after listening it, your task is to read your book. Then you are supposed to ask any question to me, because if I found any of you asking me question without reading the book, I am not gonna answer you. This is very clear. This should be very clear, that you people are grown enough that you know how to study. This is the method of the study, that lecture plus book. As I have always said this in my class, lecture plus book is enough for you, but only lecture without book is not enough, and only book without lecture is not enough. So you have to take both the things. And I'm attaching some questions after this. You are supposed to solve it. Thank you.